This is London with Bitcoin Spike. We have a trade group. I'm going to talk today about day trading and how to do it. One of the most important aspects as a day trader, up and coming or an advanced day trader, is to continue to develop. One of the most important things I'm going to talk about today is the following. Do you get it? Do you understand? I'm talking about day trading. I'm talking about the fundamentals from shorting to longing to hedging. What are the aspects? A put, a call. The vocabulary immediately is overwhelming to 90 to 95% of the people who try to day trade. The people who want to get into investing. I understand, which is why I've called this specific stream. Got it? That's it, guys. Do you get it? All right? Do you get it? Do you got it? When you sit down with somebody, it may be me. Now, I'm a former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, not financial advice. My name is London. We have a VIP trade group. But I have been through as a very, very young, I'm talking about guys when I was in junior high maybe, when I was in high school, really developing through the parameters of the required books that day traders read on Wall Street, all right? I was reading that in high school. I had a huge head start. The purpose of today is to encourage you. I want to go through some of the details and talk about a process, maybe talk about a solution that you can get involved in terms of if you don't understand something. If you don't understand something, I want to encourage you. First of all, I want to let you know who starts in that position with the market. I'm going to tell you 100% of the day traders, 100% of investors start in a position of not knowing. You're not born knowing how to short, how to long, what a hedge is. You're not born knowing what a put, what a call is. What are the variable Greeks, guys, the Greek parameters for options? No one is born knowing this information. So when you encounter this, guys, we've got on the back screen a lot of technicals dealing with Bitcoin. We trade them all the time. It can be so overwhelming that I wanted to stop. I wanted to take some time while we're building our new headquarters. Guys, we're excited about 2022. We are building. If you're not with a trade group, I encourage you, especially if you don't understand everything with day trading, I encourage you to join our group. We have just a phenomenal group of day traders. And many of the day traders, let's do this thing. What's going on? There we go. Daytona R, nice to see you. Yeah, the bull, you got that bust out of the flag. We may be doing it right now. And nice to see you, Daytona. Dayton, nice to see you, brother. What I'll say is the following. We're producing quite a few videos right now, and I wanted to come to you, Dayton, wanted to come to our VIP who may be watching this tomorrow. We're on the West Coast. Understand, it's a little bit late on the West Coast. East Coast is already past midnight, without a doubt. So this is crypto, and this is London. I want to encourage you, and the title again today is we're talking about, and Dayton is here talking about a bull flag. We called the bull flag. And Dayton probably knows, VIP probably know, as you're looking at the bull flag here, the important part about this is what, guys? Is that we called the actual pattern fallout, okay? We failed a pattern, which would have been a bull pennant. If this is all some brand new kind of dialogue or new vocabulary to you, guys, it was new for everybody when they started. This is why the title of this stream is called, Get It? Do you got it? Absolutely. And Dayton, you're here. We'll have a lot of VIP watch this later. I want this to be a reference stream, a reference video for people to continually look back at and say, yes, I need to learn, and I want you to fill in the blank. If you had a notepad of what you want to learn in 2023, we're going to talk about a dynamic that goes on in the market where a lot of people get comfortable with trading their own way. A lot of people get comfortable trading their own coin. A lot of people get comfortable with what they may have been exposed to that they can figure out on their computer or on their cell phone, right? And so there's a big, I'd say, a knowledge gap. There is a trading knowledge gap that does go on, and I want to address that today with as many people that need to hear this, both today and hereinafter. When we talk about a progression of patterns, when you look at someone, you say, how did that happen? How did they do that? Let's discuss. Like on your screen right now, you see a move to the upside, a symmetrical consolidation. Now that's a bull pennant, right? That's a bull pennant as we would understand that. It's a pattern framework that price is put into that gives us expectations in trying to forecast where price will go. That's the only reason we make a pattern out of something in terms of a price chart, right? In terms of that price chart, we make a pattern because, for instance, when this specific pattern failed, when it went to the downside, I told the VIP, yes, in fact, and Venus, let's go VIP. Let's go Venus. Nice to see you. We have Dayton in the house. He is here tonight. Up top, Venus. Maybe you can shout out to him as well. Venus is one of our top traders. I had a discussion with Venus a few days ago, and Venus and I talked about this issue. Do you got it? And not with Venus. Venus is one of our best traders, I'll tell you that. But it really did surface with me as we're building in 2022 and beyond. In 2023, we're going to take it by storm. Watch, guys. We're going to take it by storm in terms of VIP, in terms of trading. Venus and I talked about, briefly but adequately, as we talk about, on your screen now, pattern. Well, pattern dynamics. Most traders, even young traders, can get into a pattern dynamic. Right? But when you see someone with more knowledge than you may have, for instance, when I called a few days ago and I said, the specific fallout for the bull pennant is the specific bull flag. Now, a bull flag is a completely different pattern. All right. Most traders that you will run into aren't going to get the catch of a bull pennant fallout to a bull flag. Those are two different patterns. Knowing the transition between the bull pennant and the bull flag is a huge advantage. It's a huge advantage. Literally, you're able to know which direction the price is going. Now, a lot of traders, please listen, a lot of traders aren't even plugged into the fact, and pay attention to this, they're not even plugged into the fact that the majority of the time, right, you can make money when you know the direction of the price. Believe it or not, you have to explain this to people. Most traders, the majority of traders, and listen guys, the majority of traders, they believe I need to invest in something. And that's great, Dayton. Way to go. You just joined Basecamp. That's for our intro. We're excited about that, Dayton. Welcome to the channel. That's excellent. We're excited to have you in. And I'll let you know, Dayton, if you'd like to join our VIP level is the top level, but you're welcome to join Basecamp without a doubt. VIP actually have back rooms with curated charts, and I will tell you guys, it's the place to be. We cover New York Institute of Finance, and Dayton, it's just a great time for you to join Basecamp. To let you know, the VIP this year, what will I be focusing on with the VIP? I'm going to make sure they got it. Okay, the title of this stream is Get It? Do you get it? Okay, because, and I've sat there, guys, I will be honest with you. When I was in high school, I was reading New York Institute of Finance. I think the finance book is right behind me. This is Prector Elliott Wade. Instead of, and don't do this if you're in high school, guys, but this is what I was doing. Instead of reading my Shakespeare during class, I was reading New York Institute of Finance. I got turned on very early to Wall Street material when I was 15 years old, literally pounding through it in class. Now, I read, the reason my teachers let me do this, I was number one in my class, graduated number one in my class in high school, went to Duke University, only school I applied to. I graduated Duke in 3 years, okay? I've been in banking, finance, a lot of different investment areas throughout the years, but I got exposed early. I got like a hall pass. Literally, I got lucky, guys. For some reason, when I was younger, I got turned on to the right answers. That's not the way it is with everybody. I remember being, and listen, I would read all of my and do all my homework like 2 weeks in advance so I could sit and read Wall Street stuff, okay? This is in high school. I don't know why it was like that. And I do, because the market's so cool, right? So you were probably like that in some regard. Maybe your teachers did. Maybe you didn't do your homework early, huh? You had to make a deal, okay? You had to trade with your teachers to get them to approve you reading New York Institute of Finance, Wall Street stuff in class. I tell you that because I have an advantage. But even I remember during high school, reading through some complicated commodities and futures, reading through futures, reading through relative strength index, reading through MACD, and parsing my books together. My job then in high school was parsing the books and all of the indicators together, parsing together futures or commodities, relative, let's say inverse head and shoulders, a neckline. I was there in high school. Now, we have a lot of young traders in our group. You guys got that right. I say that not to brag about me, but I want you to know that I remember in high school, guys, I promise you, I remember in high school looking at, let's say, one specific page, all right, in the New York Institute of Finance. And we need to make sure that you get, Dayton, you get all of the books. We've got all, in terms of that, the list of books that we use. The first one, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. You guys got it. Okay, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by Murphy. Now, if you, the stream title is, got it? That's how you get it. That's the New York Institute of Finance. That's where Wall Street goes to school. It's not the next YouTuber, guys, the next influencer. So many of those guys are just selling coins at the end of the day. Please be careful, guys. And I want to let you know there are real ways to make money in the markets. Yeah, there are real ways to trade in the markets. Shout out to Chris, shout out to Venus. I want to tell you guys, the real way to make money in the markets is, now there's the buy and hold strategy, but we're going through huge levels of volatility, you know, not just in crypto, in equities, stocks, right? So as we would look at huge levels of volatilities, the ones who are really doing well are the ones that can really trade. Now, that cuts against the grain. All right, because it's not easy to understand. Most investors get into a space, and you guys know this, you'll get into a space and you're like, well, I need something to really go up. I need something to go up 10 times. I want something to go up 100 times. Guys, if we can identify something that continually wants to just go up and down, you guys got it. Huh? If we can continually find some volatility and a way to trade, right? Because the difficulty, and understand this, okay? Understand this up front, the difficulty with finding something that's going to go up, let's say 50 times. It's going to go up 20 times. It's good to the extent that you found something that's really, really trending, that's really going to multiply your money. But those hits are, guys, they're not a dime a dozen, right? Those hits are maybe one in do I want to say 1,000? Do I want to say 10,000? You have to be careful. When you're looking for that moonshot, you oftentimes have to disperse cash all around different investments, right? It's a rare market that will continually produce on the majority or on the whole a 10x or a 5x. You guys know that. Those are those stories you hear about, and oftentimes you try to replicate. You guys know this. You'll try and replicate that, but it's really like you're not finding that one that's going to go up that 10 or that 50 or that 100x, right? There may be additional opportunities as we're down in the valley right now. Before we get our next swing to the upside, our next bull run, we're excited about lower prices. You know that. We're excited, guys, in terms of trading. Now, this is the roadblock as we talk about tonight's live stream is, got it? Do you get it? Because it's a natural process as we talk about some more sophisticated aspects, right? Beyond, and most people get to the patterns. You guys know that. We get to the patterns, no problem. But even between a spot trader, what's a spot trader? A spot trader is someone who doesn't want to work on leverage. They've decided just to buy a Bitcoin or a piece of Bitcoin. They don't want to get into leverage. They don't want to get into multiples, right? They don't want to get into a margin. They don't want to get into options. Now, I'll remind you one thing. In life, many times what we don't understand scares us, right? You know that. It's a natural phenomenon in life. It's a protective mechanism. As we look at that, I want you to keep an open mind toward options. Keep an open mind towards leverage. Not that you would want to spend more or increase your risk. To the opposite effect, guys. To the opposite effect, if there's a way to decrease your amount of risk, to decrease your amount of capital involvement, or what if there was a way, and listen up, and keep an open mind, this is going to be part of got it? What if there was a way, and let's just explore hypothetically, is there a way to guarantee, let's say you don't know which direction something's going to move, would there be a way to guarantee that you could participate either direction, okay, in terms of profiting either direction? Now that starts to sound interesting, right? That sounds interesting enough that if you could keep your mind open while I mention some of the key phrases that you've been taught to battle against, right? You have already learned as you sit down, and let's say you have a program schedule that fits with your ability to invest, that fits with your current understanding that you have already assimilated to, and whatever else comes in, it's like the Heisman, bam. You guys know, right? You'll sit down, and I've done this along the years, especially because I started early. And listen up, guys, listen. As I started early, I would receive information, compute it myself, but whatever opinions I had them solidly established. I would not, for instance, go into options. I would not go in if I had met someone who had really been hurt. I would not, for instance, want to trade a hedge because I didn't quite understand how to execute that on on an exchange, right? I wouldn't understand what the Greeks were on puts or calls. Now, all of those different categories, all those different items, and we could go on and on and on. It is something that's out of the ordinary for you. It's something that you may have been exposed to. This is, guys, the big message here tonight for VIP. The title of this video is Got It? Do you get it? Right? Okay, like essentially, because there's a dynamic in the market. It happens with traders. Understand, you're probably mathematically advanced, okay? You're in the market. You want to make money. You've at least computed out what 50 times or 100 times your money would be, right? You're in it for a multiple gain, correct? Or at least a percentage return, right? But as we would look at this aspect, it is a common phenomenon. Pay attention, it's a common phenomenon, and understand you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. Every trader sits through information, every trader does, sits through information and at some point doesn't understand what's being said to them. It's literally the 747 over the head, and it's just, it's a completely nebulous concept that's being explained to the trader, or guys, the trader would never learn, right? Even the traders who are very advanced, you say, well, maybe that trader always understood what a put, a call, let's say a zero delta hedge is. Whoa, no. Even that trader had to sit down. The most capable trader in the world sat down at one point and was told something they had no idea what it was. So as you find yourself in the predicament, as you find yourself in terms of not understanding, and we have some very advanced traders, but I want to encourage each and every one of you, because it's phenomenally important to understand and recognize that when you receive information and it's challenging, and let's say your inclination is, okay, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to really understand that. But you get into this kind of robot mode. You guys know that you get into this automated program function. Okay, yeah, I understand that. You'll sit down with people, guys, I've seen it many times. You'll sit down with people who may be discussing a hedge. Guys, I sit down with people who literally work at JP Morgan. Yes. Who literally work at BlackRock. Yes. They work at JP Morgan or BlackRock, some of the biggest financial institution management companies in the world. Okay, I sit down with them. Okay, I sit down with them and talk to them about teaching them to trade. Okay, these are some of the best, highly minded financial individuals in the world. They work at the #1 companies from BlackRock to JP Morgan, and I promise you, I get the look on their face. This is the truth. I get the look on their face from them that yes, and it's this glazed over robot mode when they don't understand something. When I'm talking about a hedge, when I'm talking about a spread on a put call, maybe a Greek component, I don't want to talk about it too much, but yes, even some of the most advanced financial minds that are hired with the highest level companies in the world go through the same dynamic. Can you believe it? They go through the same dynamic, and you wouldn't know that. You would not know that, but I am not going to give you names. I could. Great people. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not the guy or the girl is brilliant, is really sophisticated, could really put together on a program basis a trade or a hedge. Has nothing to do with that. It's literally that they just haven't been exposed, even in BlackRock, even in JP Morgan, the number one, the largest financial institutions. They still haven't been exposed to trading like we know how to trade, right? And not that we have a corner at any market or have any specific, guys, well, we know how to trade. With that said, you guys know this is London, former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, not financial advice. So when I mention something like a BlackRock employer, a JP Morgan employer, ex-employee that I'm dealing with, and I'm telling them about something in terms of maybe teaching them how to trade a strategy, teaching them how to trade a hedge, I see this look, and it's a program function of a trader. It's almost a defensive mechanism, right? That trader, let's say the BlackRock or the JP Morgan, it could be you, it could be anyone. At some point it was me, receiving additional market information, and there's a bit of a fear factor. It does jump into the equation. I see it on their faces, even though they're hired by the number one companies in the world. I still see the fear factor on their face, and I see it. And I think in high school when I was going through New York Institute of Finance, it crossed through my mind, will I ever really understand this? I'm going to go through this page, let's say on New York Institute of Finance, but I may never really understand this, which is why in high school, I would sit there and I would look at one page and I would spend an hour. I would spend 2 hours. I would spend 4 hours if I needed to, guys, or days going through the concepts on a single page until, yes, I understand it. And then if I had to go back to that page, I would go back to that page, and this was me in high school, going through advanced Wall Street materials until I understood it. So it takes literally the understanding that it's going to be a natural function. If it happens with the BlackRock and the JP Morgan employees or ex-employees, I promise it's probably happening to you, and it's not, or it has happened to you, and it's not. Understand? We're talking about advancing, whether or not you understand, conceptualize, if you can really, really understand what's going on in some of the trading. And we'll get to some issues as I talk about a hedge, a split hedge, zero delta, some different ideas. If we talk about puts or calls, if we talk about some different things in the market, you'll put the barrier up at some point. Shoo, boom, right? Like the big garage door, bam, the warehouse style garage door. It's a little warm in here. Let me take this off, guys, just a minute. So as we talk about this, understand that defensive mechanism comes into play for a reason, because you're a smart, most likely relatively aggressive individual. You have decided that you know how to participate within limits, okay, in the market. And as you really look at the situation, I understand that your experiences have crafted you and have literally formed you and given you a foundation of what you'll deal with and what you won't deal with. You're dealing with your own money. Beautiful, right? You're making those decisions, and as you have come along this journey, you've decided what to focus on and what not to focus on. I need you guys to open up your mind as we get into 2023, okay? I need you guys to open up your mind that there may be some additional things that you need to learn, okay? You may not want to learn them. That barrier may have gone up, but there may be some additional things that could be hugely advantageous if you will open up, guys, to learning a few different things or more as we look at 2023. I don't want there to be anyone in BIP, anyone in our trade group who is, and I'll just say I understand the concept of putting up the barriers as we look at like the fallout of the bull pennant here to the bull flag. You would look at someone who does something like that, and this is one of the issues too, guys. You'll look at someone who, like me, and I called the bull flag, okay? I called this pickup in this area as a likely pickup. But what you'll do, if you're not committed to learning everything, you'll find someone like this and you'll say, ooh, he got that right. He got that right. You need to say, he trades a lot. Yeah, that guy trades a lot, all right? And you need to understand, when you're looking for the guy that's going to get everything right, that's not what you need to be looking for. You need to be looking for the guys that trade a lot. And what do you need to do? I'm going to tell you. You need to trade a lot. Bottom line, when you trade a lot, you'll know how to not only catch this position, but also how to cover yourself on the downside. If we were to have gotten the advantageous move to the downside, the 60-40 split, the 70-30 split, or the 80-20 split that we get when we want it, even if we had a 99 to a 1% split. On a 99 to a 1% split, what becomes inevitable at some point in time? The 1%, right? You guys got it, okay? If you have a 50-50 split, toss up. We stay away from those trades. We want the most advantageous, the most highly probable trades. That's what we want. You guys know that. We want to involve ourselves in those trades. Those create the relaxed situations. When you see a trader who's winning and he just, no problem, I'll go out for lunch and a jog after this, no big deal. You see that smooth sailing. Most likely he's in a highly probable trade, okay? That makes a big difference in terms of things. But what also makes a huge difference, and I really want to reinforce this year, if you have put up the barrier somehow in terms of what you're comfortable with or how you'll operate or how you won't operate, maybe you get a bit defensive in that position, or maybe you just turn the keys off upstairs in terms of the ignition, boom, and go into robot mode and say, no, I get that, or yeah, I understand that. I want you to challenge yourself as we look at going into 2023. I don't want there to be a stone unturned that you can't say, you know what, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to ask London about it. I want to be shown on the exchange how to do this in 2023. If it's a hedge, a split hedge, I want to know exactly how to do it. I want to be able to hedge CPI. I want to be able to hedge and trade, maybe even, and guys, I'll make some recommendations before you do any of this, but maybe even I want to hedge Apple. I want to hedge Microsoft. I decided I want to hedge Tesla. Now guys, the exchange that we trade on, which is, guys, in terms of that, a lot of people go hunting for Bybit or something overseas, something cool. I'm going to tell you, BTCC has been the longest standing exchange, guys, in crypto. It's the top shelf. It's been around and weathered more storms. So as we look at FTX, there are bankruptcies every day. So I at least am heavily engaged in BTCC, okay? They've been around longer than anyone else. As we look at their ability to trade tokenized equities, guys, it's tokenized equities. Now, I'll make a whole laundry list of disclaimers about not financial advice. I'll do that till the cows come home because it's a tokenized equity, right? We get it away from Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin, by the way, always will. But maybe you say, well, I think I'd like to maybe try and split hedge with Tesla. I want you to be open in 2023. I don't want there to be, and this is part of VIP, guys. This is part of our group. It's why we are who we are. I want you guys, when we talk about a hedge, when we get into that next level of understanding, if it's a pattern fallout, such as a catch with a bull pennant to a specific bull flag, I want you to be advanced. I want us all to be cream of the crop, the top, the best, okay? I want us to separate ourselves. And the whole stream tonight was about the following. And I didn't have to come. I had cut a few videos. We had a lot of success with this pattern. You guys know that. But on the tail end of that, I want you to understand that there's more. And you need to sit and you need to decide what are the things you don't understand. What is it in trading that is beyond you? Is it leverage? Maybe. Is it hedging? Right? Are there certain indicators that you keep glossing over? And well, I'll review that next week. Is it, guys? If it's that, or if it's something in stocks, if there's something that's kind of bothering you, let's say you've dealt with the issue, puts, calls, it's long, short, whatever the issue, leverage. Those things, if you don't understand those, I at least want you to understand leverage. Okay? Not that you need to trade it. And I'll say that as a matter of fact, not that you need to trade it. If you're happy with spot, or if you're happy with a long-term approach, guys, there are capital allocation models that are beautiful for just swing trade volatility on macro cyclical, okay? If even what I just said then, macro cyclical, if it's Greek to you, guys, I want to encourage you in 2023, as we head into it, guys, from the fourth quarter, there's not going to be a stone unturned, all right? We, as a group, as VIP, we're going to get it. And I am going to make sure that you guys get it. And it's going to be a good thing. So as you look at us, what identifies us, I want us to be the most advanced, capable trading group, number one, that's out there. And to me, that means your individual success. And so I want to encourage you, for anyone who has just joined this evening, make sure you watch the beginning. There are, let's say there are a series of barriers that are put up, a protective mechanism in the market. But as that continues to grow over the number of years that you're investing, at some point you stop developing. And I don't want you guys to go into this tune out what I don't understand mode. I'm only going to focus on what I understand in the market. You're part of a trade group now. You're part of VIP now. So that's why I'm here. That's why we have the books in place. That's why we have the community in the back. I just want to continually encourage you that yes, it's a process, but don't ever feel like you're never going to get it. Okay, I remember in high school going through certain pages in New York Institute of Finance and being like, I don't know if I'm going to get, I guess I'm going to get this, right? I guess I'm going to understand it. Sure enough, 3, 4, 5 hours or 3, 4, 5 days on some pages, I got it. Okay, if you're still there, if you're still developing, whatever the vocabulary is, whatever the barriers or walls you put up, guys, even in terms of, I want you to open your minds, in terms of maybe you've decided, no, this is not good. I will not do that. For purposes of New York Institute of Finance, if you find it in the New York Institute of Finance book that we focus on, keep an open mind, okay? If you find that they have a publication on it and that Wall Street somewhere is focused on it, because that's where Wall Street goes to school. If, for instance, you're against futures, okay? If you don't know what futures are, it's okay. But if you're against futures, understand the book that Murphy, New York Institute of Finance, the book that Murphy wrote for Wall Street, guys, for the Wall Street traders, was on futures before he made a general book. Guys, it was on specifically futures. That was the book I read in high school. Well, we do leverage trading, etc. So as you look at that, before you dismiss something, figure out how it's incorporated into Wall Street. Figure out how it's incorporated into day trading. And that's going to be a big goal for me in 2023 as we look at taking it by storm. I want all those questions answered. I want us to be the #1 most proficient trading group, and that should excite you guys, because as you look at your overall game, how to approach things, for you it may be patterns, okay? It may be patterns in terms of sequentially or probability or what are the proper resources. It may be, well, what is a weighted average? The lines that you have on the screen, your indicator that you did, kernel regression. Maybe it's algorithmic trading. Maybe it's whatever it is, guys. I want you to develop in 2023. So this is a word of inspiration. Absolutely, this evening. And as we look at the phenomenal trades for our VIP, I just wanted to come in tonight. This be a specific video we can refer to as we head into 2023. It's going to be the year we take it by storm. How are we going to do that? We're going to make sure you're not in those positions where you're listening and receiving information on the market and you don't get it. You don't got it. And don't ever think that you're not going to get it. That's going to be our goal individually, starting you up with 100 rounds. All right, starting you up with 100 rounds. If you're stuck in 100 rounds in your practice phase, we're going to make sure you get it. All right, that's what we're going to do. Bottom line, you can't change my mind about it. It's been made up. We're going to make sure you get it with your 100 rounds, your practice rounds, with concepts, with the New York Institute of Finance, with what Wall Street uses. Guys, it's not a plug, it's not a tagline. That's the book they use in Wall Street, okay? You go to a trader's desk, that's what they call it the Bible there. Not to be sacrilegious, but if there's ever a question, like, go get the book, just like they would the Bible or something else, right? They go get John J. Murphy, New York Institute of Finance. They open it up and, okay, this is the answer. So understand, we focus on what real day traders, what real sophisticated high-level traders are taught, what they're instructed, and we want you to be, guys. I have to tell you, when we're beating the market like this, you guys know, and we have days and just completely annihilating the market. Beautiful, beautiful results. You're trading against those traders. You're trading with them, at least with them. That's the goal, right? Trade with them. But you also want to beat them, right? That's our goal for 2023. So this is a little bit of a message. Wanted to come live. We set up a few other, just did a quick Doge, how to trade Doge, and a quick how to trade, what do we got here? It can survive anything else. That's funny. 3 dips to command the triple bottom. That'd be nice. Dayton knows what he's talking about. You guys can tell that, but Chris in the back, Venus as well. Dayton just joined Basecamp. That is a great level of initiation. We would like you to join our VIP. That's the top level. Not sure you got the option there, but make sure if you'd like to upgrade, that'll get you the information in the back. Okay, we go through information all day long. Take a look at like for instance, like super trend. What's a super trend? All right, I'm going to do a specific video on super trend later, because right now you think super trend, you think, oh yeah, we want to be a part of that. Like long, right? You want to buy it and it goes super trend, right? No. Okay, this is one of those things you got to wrap around, just like on the specific. It's just you got to hang out long enough, guys. In terms of the move to the upside, the symmetrical consolidation, that bull pennant, we went through in the last few days, right? Last several days. Let me see if I can pull this down. But yeah, this, I guess maybe I have it locked. Do I have it? I don't have it locked. But the catch here was the bull flag for the bull pennant. And you may not have known that, right? The same way someone could say, Bitcoin's about to go super trend. You may think, ooh, we have to buy it. If you buy it, this is how tricky the market is. What a great example to finish the stream on, guys. If you buy into a super trend, guys, a lot of the times you're going to lose. That's not the time to buy into a super trend. A super trend identifies, let's take a look at this from earlier today, and you guys know this. And I'll show you the limitations of super trend today, but it's a beautiful discussion because not everything is intuitive. When you put your barriers up, though, pay attention on the context of whether or not do you get it, do you got it. You'll hear things, and if you were supposed to understand everything, if everything in the business were easy, business of trading, guys, just pay attention. You're going to love this. As we looked at the super trend issue today, pay attention. This is a beautiful example. Super trend. A super trend is what, guys? A super trend is anytime you have a defined channel framework from the support to the resistance. Okay? What is the super trend? Well, the super trend is actually price going up and over the level of resistance. What's the expectation? The expectation is actually, believe it or not, when you call it a super trend, the expectation is actually operation of price below the line of support. Believe it or not, super trend is up and over the level of resistance. This is the Bitcoin chart up to 69,000. That's when Austria said, we're going to tax Bitcoin. They got it right at the top, right? And that expectation of operating below the line of support because you've gone super trend. Guys, it's not just Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin daily chart. Take a look at Matic. Matic, M-A-T-I-C, an altcoin. What did it do? It went super trend. I was telling people during this on Matic, and they still remained bullish. They still wanted to go super trend. The guys that were going long then, I was like, don't go long then, right? But this is a great example. Do you get it? Now you got it, right? Now you got it in terms of the market. You look at it and be like, hold on, so they're calling something super trend. It sounds like everything's about to take off to the upside, and really the expectation is a collapse. It's not required. We'll talk about Doge did a good job. What tonight, in fact. But the level of support, looking at the expectation is going to be a breach of this level of support. Just a breach of the support. Doesn't have to collapse all the way down. Oftentimes it does. You look at Matic, and this was on the daily as well on Matic. Super trend, you immediately are geared towards, ooh, super trend. We're going to go participate. We're going to go buy. You see what the market does. You see how everything is laid out, not against you, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to get it, huh? Now on this one, you got to get it, huh? Look at oil. This is West Texas Intermediate. I called this with a VIP in the back earlier this year. Oil was screaming to the upside. It was going up. It was going super trend. You guys see this, huh? What is it? Over the line of resistance, up and over. What did it do? It breached the line of support. So when you hear that something's going super trend, and this is the way that things are with the market oftentimes, it's counterintuitive. You actually have to learn, you have to spend the time, have to understand, and what's the expectation here? Just the general expectation is you're going to breach, once you breach that line of resistance, that you're going to breach the line of support. It doesn't mean a collapse on down through, down to into a bear market. It can be. It can refuse, and you can take off and have an accelerating trend. This is the answer to the super trend. You can have an accelerating trend. You can. They're rare. They're difficult to maintain. Right? I think I will not name some of the ones that have. Some of the ones that have are no longer around. Okay, in terms of crypto or otherwise. But looking at this, that collapse through the level of support, be careful on a super trend. When you hear that, now you know there's just one more step forward that we took, right? Now you know in terms of a super trend, you need to be careful. You're violating the Elliott wave channel there. From the level of support to resistance, there may be a probability, at least being cautious in terms of your exposure. Great time to take profits, right? But there are ways to balance that as well. As you guys look at the framework in 2023, what is going to be your complete understanding of the market? It's going to be step by step. That yes, you're going to get it. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Hoping all of you join us. And guys, take care of yourself. Never overexpose at any higher price. And I'll tell you, eat well, sleep well. Good rules for crypto. and day trading, and make sure you invest in those relationships that you knew were worth investing in before you started investing,